What's up guys? Today we're going to be checking out Venom: The Last Dance on 4K UHD. I'm not here to talk about how good or bad the movie is, I'm just going to share some thoughts on the audio and video quality. Now let's go over a few tech specs. The movie was shot in 4.5K. It's got a 4K DI, it's rated PG-13, runtime is 110 minutes, aspect ratio is 239:1, and the audio is in Dolby Atmos. Before we take a look at the audio and see how active this mix is, if you don't know what the Atmos viewer is, you can find a link down below in this video's description that tells you all about it, what it does, and where to get it. You can also find a list of all the gear that I use for these 4K reviews down there as well. So right from the start, we're greeted with a fully dynamic mix. You'll hear creatures crawling through the surround channels, and when the portholes open up, they'll open up above your head. Now, despite this really strong opening surround mix, most of this movie stays in a 7.1.2 configuration. So if you want the most top channel coverage, going with the 4-speaker setup would be your best bet. There's still a handful of parts that use all 6 top speakers, so just keep that in mind. Now, despite that, the action scenes are very effects heavy with excellent surround movement. The bass hits hard with all the action scenes, although I did feel that it probably could have hit just a little bit harder and gone a little bit deeper. Still, the explosions are big enough to annoy the neighbors, and Venom's voice comes across really heavy and deep.
Isn't it just astonishing?
The movie's also got a really big soundstage with, at times, great ambiance that made my room sound bigger than what it really is. And the dialogue was always easy to hear. And thank you to Kaleidoscape for supplying me with this copy of Venom: The Last Dance so I could bring you, the home theater movie loving community, this 4K review. Now if you want to get your movies weeks and sometimes months before they come out on 4K Blu-ray in the same if not better quality, consider getting a Kaleidoscape at our channel partner Dream Media. Links can be found down below in this video's description. If you've seen the first 2 Venom movies, then you know what this transfer is going to look like because it looks just like the last one. It is from Sony, so it's got that clean, crisp digital look with tons of detail. If you thought Venom looked real before, he looks even realer now because he's got a lot of daytime scenes. So all of the digital effects are even more lifelike. I'm just kidding, he still looks digital, just super detailed digital. As for the HDR, it's got a somewhat subdued color palette with natural tones, with nothing that's really going to be too bright and vibrant. There's still some nice wide shots with excellent color gradations that do have deep saturation, but this isn't a particularly bright movie. It's got a max CLL of 247 and a max FALL of 244, so this is not going to push your display's nit powers. Since the image does lean on the dimmer side, shadow details in darker scenes can come across crushed. It might just be a stylistic choice to follow the looks of the previous movie, but the blacks can be very, very dark. The specular highlights do pop against the darker visuals, so explosions and lighting have a lot of contrast. It's an overall good-looking transfer that would make for a seamless visual triple feature movie night with the kids. I'm gonna go with an 8 for video. For audio, I thought this was a really fun sounding mix. It's got a big detailed soundstage with plenty of surround activity. The bass could have been a touch better, but it still hit extremely hard in parts, and as a whole, it is a really good time. I'm gonna go with an 8.6 for audio. Now this video was based off of the Kaleidoscape version, which comes in at 65.1 gigs in Dolby Vision and 57.1 gigs in HDR10, which is the version I watched. I would suspect that this should look exactly the same as the disc if you're holding out for that, and it'll sound exactly the same. The 4K Blu-ray does come out on January 21st, or if you can't wait, it's available now on the Kaleidoscape in full quality. So what are your thoughts on this last chapter in the Venom franchise? Do you think we'll ever see him go up against Spider-Man in a future movie, or is this it? Leave your comment down below and let me know. Now, if you do want to pick up this movie, I will leave some links for it down below in this video's description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media, and if you want to get exclusive content or great discounts on audio and video gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Be sure to like this video if you found it useful, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you again in the next video.